What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the rogue one, Gary Whitta.
Not my regular day.
Well, you got to keep everybody on their toes now. You come here,
So you get me on my toes.
You yell about video games, then you get written up across the internet.
Oh, God.
You came in here, you had some things to say about EA and Star Wars last week. The articles are still getting posted. I did
not expect that to blow up the way that it did, but it's been posted. Like I said to you before, that I'm half expecting to get like an angry call from somebody because Forbes, something called Lad Bible.
Yeah, Lad Bible had it today. They had it for the 6 Access. I saw. It's because what's happening now is we're in that fun period where it's, you know, you drop the pedal in the water and you see the ripples.
The ripple effect,
and now it's rippled off of so many sites that reported us as the source that now other sites are reporting on the sites that reported on us as the
according
source.
To Forbes,
exactly. Thanks, Komatsu. Or like it's like that chain thing of getting it all back there. Yeah.
But that was, I mean, I guess, you know, Star Wars is a big deal, and it was a fairly...
I guess, you know what I mean?
I made a fairly contentious statement in saying that I think that EA, that Disney should take the Star Wars license away from EA.
Sure.
Which you apparently, subsequently said that on your recent podcast as well.
I think the cards are lined up. That Gamescast, we did predictions for where video games will be in 5 years, or maybe it was just 2021. I forget.
So you're sticking by your idea, your theory that Lucasfilm or Disney will take the license away. Not just what you think should happen, but what you think will happen. That the license.
I mean, how can you predict anything in video games in the future, right?
But nevertheless, that is your prediction. You were predicting an Xbox exclusive Star Wars game.
I think that they get it back, and they would do an Xbox exclusive. I think there's other exclusives. There's other things. There's third party games for everybody.
Why do an Xbox exclusive game at this point? Why leave all that PlayStation money on the table?
I think because Xbox would be giving you money. It would make you headlines. It would also
be a great boon for Xbox.
The big thing about it too is I think there's just such a, when you commit to one platform and you give your team one thing to focus on, arguably you come out with a better product, right? Like I think you look at how a Naughty Dog, a Naughty Dog game looks versus, well, I guess this isn't a great example, but a Naughty Dog game looks against a single player, a Tomb Raider. That's on everything, right? You have Naughty Dog focusing on PlayStation 4, Tomb Raider made by equally talented people, but has to, how does it run on PC? How's it run on Xbox? How's it run on Xbox One X? How's it run on a PlayStation 4? How's it run on a PlayStation 4 Pro? I think there's so many more variables in there that if you give somebody something to focus on, you're in a better way.
I mean, I don't think it's feasible from a business standpoint, but given that Xbox is currently kind of playing catch up to PlayStation, what an amazing thing to be able to say if they could pull it off. Xbox is now the exclusive home of Star Wars games.
No, see, that's my thing, is you're going too far.
Oh,
I'm saying one game. I think it's like a
one-off game.
I think it's like a Marvel game Spider-Man thing. Right? So you get one exclusive. And they're still making other Star Wars games other place.
Right.
Lando Calrissian and Kart Racer. That's
exclusive.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Dan Reb Victorio from San Jose, California writes into patreon.com/kindafunnygames, just like you can if you're a bronze member, and says, "Hey guys, Gary's rant about EA ended up going pretty viral, and while I agree with most of his sentiment, he did state that other than the 2 Battlefront games, EA hasn't done much for Star Wars. That's where he's wrong.
Okay.
A mobile game by the name of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes made millions last year, and I'm sure that's why Disney hasn't forced EA to drop them yet. I'm not here to point fingers about people being wrong. This isn't a you're wrong. My question actually pertains to mobile games and your habits with them. Obviously, you guys don't play many of them, neither do I. That said, I wanted to know what you guys look for in a mobile game to stay invested in them. I downloaded Florence because you guys liked it so much, but you guys don't really play mobile games, so how did you even find it? All the best. Thank you so much."
Do you play a lot of mobile games?
No, very rarely. Florence was the great exception, and right now, of course, front runner for Game of the Year, Ding Dong XL.
Ooh. Ding Dong XL.
Have you played Ding Dong XL yet?
What is that?
Download it right now. Don't even worry. Jared Petty went to IGN. Damon and Sam were playing this game, Ding Dong XL. Here's Ding Dong XL. Kevin was already playing it.
Oh wow, you weren't
Jared
kidding.
came and told us about it. We talked about it on the Gamescast. A bunch of people are buying it. The developer's freaking out that people are doing this because he's just a one-man team learning how to make games, and you just go back and forth avoiding obstacles. It's like Frogger. If you
I don't want to hit the squares.
No, you want to avoid them. It's like Frogger. But if you rub up against it, you get an extra point.
Well, just like in real life.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah. What are you applauding? So yeah, that's Ding Dong XL. And
I can already see how this would be very
addictive.
So yeah, it's basically like crossing the street each time.
Yeah. Things will go faster. There's power-ups that come through. There's more things.
So I do want to hit the power-ups.
Yeah.
I get it.
If you wait too long on one side, if you wait too long on it, you expand and you'll pop. You have to keep moving.
That to me is what mobile games are all about.
100%.
Just simple, fun experiences like that.
Yeah. You don't play a lot of mobile though either, right?
Not a lot. I've been playing a little bit more recently. My wife's been downloading some. She always likes puzzle games. She's been playing a puzzle game called Sumi Sumi. Okay. On the iPhone, which I also downloaded, and it was quite fun. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I got seduced by one of those TV. You know how like mobile games are heavily advertised on TV now?
Yeah.
I saw a TV commercial for the new Candy Crush game.
Oh yeah?
So I was playing some Candy Crush.
Nice.
But I didn't really get into it. Marvel Puzzle Quest is probably the one that I still play the most.
Yeah, Marvel Puzzle Quest is great. Puzzle Quest in general, great.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing for me with a mobile game. It's got to be, usually if it's an IP I care about, like Ghostbusters World, I jumped in obviously and was all over that for a long time. Animal Crossing, I played a lot of. I've dabbled here and there with Marvel Puzzle Quest, stuff like that. That'll get me through. But then it's just it's a gameplay that's fun, easy to get into and get out of. Like that's why Ding Dong XL is great. Is those aren't long. Like we were waiting for a pizza.
Great name too.
Exactly.
Ding Dong
right,
XL.
Yeah. Well, he's got a whole brand of XL games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, it's there's a lot going on there. We'll talk about that another time though.
All right.
But that's what we're looking for in mobile. Thank you for keeping Gary honest about Star Wars, something he knows nothing about. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/KindaFunnyGames bronze members get to submit questions, be part of the show, all that great stuff. If you're a silver member, you can download the show as an MP3 or video file that has no ads. That's right, ad-free over on patreon.com/KindaFunnyGames. Of course, you can watch us record the show live for free at twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/KindaFunnyGames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you. Let's go in chronological order. Gary, tomorrow's a big day for you. What is happening?
Well, it's usually every Wednesday is a big day for me because it's Widow Wednesday.
You did a great job today. Andrea Renee wasn't sure of her Anthem time. She's going to play Anthem. She had to switch it around, so you're here to fill in for Andrea.
So I'm
today.
here so that Andrea can play Anthem.
Correct.
All right. Well, I hope she enjoys it. She's not just sitting around playing it. Like she's actually at an event.
It's an event. She went to an event.
I
to
moved
go
my
play
schedule
them.
around to facilitate. I'd hate to think that she's just having a day off playing video games.
Well, why not? You know what I mean? Somebody's got to.
But she's actually at some kind of
She's at a thing, doing a thing, yeah.
event.
Andy was going to do it, but he has to review Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay.
He's not happy about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
But
you're right. Tomorrow is a big day for
What's
me.
happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow, as you know, Wednesday is New Comic Book Day.
Whoop, whoop.
That's when the new comic books come out. And on this particular Wednesday, tomorrow, the 23rd of January, I happen to have a new comic book that's going to be in stores.
What is it?
It's called Oliver.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put it up right here.
There
I
you
have
go,
brought in a copy for you.
Thank you.
I've actually been working on this since 2003.
Wow.
I originally wrote this in 2003.
That's a long time.
And it took forever to get it made. I've been working with a very talented artist by the name of Derek Robertson, whose work you will know, the writer of... the artist of Transmetropolitan.
Oh, yeah.
Co-created with Warren Ellis.
Yeah.
The Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Happy.
Yeah.
The artist of all these, and has done amazing work for Marvel and DC as well. He's drew Wolverine for a long time.
Sure, with The Boys. Come on.
And he's The Boys.
Yeah, come on.
And Derek's a good friend of mine, and it took us, because he's so busy, and I was busy over the years as well, it took us forever to finally find the time to like get together and make this comic.
Yeah.
But we finally did it. It's being published by Image Comics. It's out tomorrow. It has superheroes, it has post-apocalypse, it has clones, it has superpowers, it has Dickensian and Shakespearean literary influences. It's a lot of fun. It's a 12-part series, and it starts tomorrow, and I hope you will all go out and buy a copy.
Everybody go out and buy it.
Woo! And that's
right.
my plug.
Good job. You did a great job.
good.
I'm excited.
Should
I've
I
had
mention-
the PDF from you for months. I'm excited to see it on the shelves now.
Well, here it is.
I'm going to go downstairs to Comic Experience and forge your signature on everything.
Two more things I will mention. It's getting great reviews so far. And this Sunday at Two Cats Comics on West Portal Avenue here in San Francisco. Well, right as you are having your bro down in Tempe, Arizona, I will be having my own comics bro down at Two Cats Comics in San Francisco on West Portal Avenue. At 1 p.m. we'll be Derek and I will both be there. We'll be talking about the book and we'll be signing comics.
That's awesome.
All right. Well,
I would have canceled the meet and greet if you told me.
I'd hope to see you there, but you'll be eating hot dogs.
I know, yeah, exactly. Because that's right. Sunday in Arizona, Kinda Funny is coming to meet and greet you as part of the Kinda Funny World Tour. Hashtag Kinda Funny World Tour. We'll be at the Portillo's in Tempe starting at 11 a.m. Then we're all going to Royal Rumble. So if you want to go to Royal Rumble with us, I hope you have tickets. Then Wednesday, January 30th, it's the second Kinda Funny fundraising stream for January. We are doing another 12-hour stream, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can catch it all on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames as we continue to raise money this whole month of January. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Stretch goals, shows, you know all about it. I won't belabor the point. And then today we're brought to you by Robinhood and Thirdlove, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. Now, Barrett, you're new to the doot-to-doot-to-doots.
Was that Barrett doing the doot-to-doots?
It looks painful. Are you okay?
To get that high pitch. Yeah.
Hurts?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're such a man.
But I do it for the fucking show, Greg.
That's what I like to hear. Leave it all on the field. See, you're good too, yeah.
Yeah, it's not... But you got to get the rhythm right as well.
Sure.
You can't just be like...
And this is the first time I feel like I've nailed the rhythm.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
You got
crushed
it.
You
Otherwise
have a future here.
Sweet.
Otherwise, it just like... Because it's supposed to sound like what? Like Morse code, I guess?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the breaking news.
Yeah, the breaking news ticker.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not good at it. I don't feel like I can get the rhythm. I got the pitch right, but not the rhythm.
3 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Number 1, Resident Evil 2 is getting post-launch DLC modes. This is from Steve Watts at GameSpot. Capcom has announced a new mode coming to Resident Evil 2 after launch, which aims to add some longevity with repeatable missions and random elements. The Ghost Survivors mode will be free for all players, and it will be released in multiple volumes. A post on Reset Era details the announcement from Capcom's launch event stream. Ghost Survivors will release across 3 volumes. The first volume will include the mayor's daughter, Catherine, and a USS member named Robert Kendo as playable characters. The mode is also said to include at least 1 new enemy type that doesn't appear to be in the main campaign. To keep the mode fresh, it will introduce random elements and an in-game shop that lets you purchase upgrades based on good performance in the challenges. The RE2 remake will also sport the bonus 4th Survivor and Tofu modes from the original, giving you a little more to do after you've completed the main campaign. 4th Survivor puts you in the shoes of Special Agent Hunk, while Tofu lets you explore the zombie-infested city as a big block of the substitute soy meat. Now, Gary.
I never heard of this tofu mode.
I never heard of tofu mode either. No, not at all. No,
Really?
That's news to me. Yeah, you know all about it, Barrett?
I learned a little bit about it when I was at my time at IGN.
Does that mean that the
Some, like,
zombies
old
are not interested in you because you're a non-meat product?
Maybe.
So you can wander
No,
around freely?
They have to still be interested in you, right?
Zombies wouldn't eat tofu, would they?
can be yummy, you know?
No, it can't.
I mean,
Kindoffunny.com/wrong if you know about tofu mode. Gary, it's a big day in the Resident Evil 2 remake, if you will, world, because the reviews have popped today.
The embargo
and they're
is
glowing.
lifted.
They're glowing
reviews.
Well deserved.
Universal
well deserved.
praise.
I've played it. I've beaten Leon's story. I'm going through Claire's second run right now. What a game. What a fantastic game, Gary.
You're happy with it?
Yeah, and I'm not a Resident Evil fanboy. I always said I should have been a Resident Evil fanboy. Zombies are my favorite scary movie. I had a PS1, and when I popped in RE2, man, it just didn't click for me at the time because of the tank controls, because of the map stuff. I just found it to be not a cumbersome game.
What was the original Resident Evil 2 on? Was it PS2?
No, it's PlayStation 1.
It was a PlayStation 1
Come
game.
right over here,
Oh,
young Tim Gettys. Pop down the chair. This is a Resident Evil discussion. You're going to be talking.
I got to prep the next thing.
Whatever. Is he on his mic up?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Tim,
Yes.
what a game.
What
Resident
a damn
Evil 2.
game. I beat both scenarios last night.
Nice.
And man, is it worth doing.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. I'm doing it.
Oh, it's fantastic. So damn good. There's so much different in both, which I should have expected having played the first one.
Yeah.
The 2 scenarios of the character you play as?
You either play as Leon or Claire first, and then you switch for the second bit where you then play through the same thing, but their perspective of it.
Okay.
And things have changed based on who you played first.
Right.
So really, you have to play the game 4 times to get the full experience. I'm good off that. I did too. I'm fine.
Yeah, they fast forward through like cutscenes and stuff in second run, right? Like in the very beginning, it's like pop, 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 pop. I mean, in terms of like that start of like I did it as Leon, then I went back as Claire, so they didn't make me play through the gas station again.
Gotcha.
And then I was playing it, and I was texting Britt, of course, from What's Good, the Resident Evil expert, and she wasn't answering me, so I started a new game and saw the differences as Claire if I went in fresh and all these different things.
Yeah. It's so good.
So let me ask you both this. Is it scary? Because
Yes.
I have a low tolerance for horror and scary games.
Terrifying.
Okay.
The entire game is designed around making every single enemy encounter feel just as scary as the first time you see a zombie.
Okay.
After 13 hours with the game, a normal zombie enemy still would get me every once in a while. And it's not just turning a corner, it's them coming at you, because it's like you think you have it, but if you miss one shot and they get too close to you, the way they play with the camera, even though it's a third-person perspective, the camera's so close to the character's back that you're still missing a lot of the view. And the way that the lighting works and how wet everything looks, there's always light reflecting and shadows reflecting off of everything.
So wet.
Impossibly wet.
It's impossibly wet. So it's always like you get that like shaky feeling, like you feel like you're shaking. And when a zombie comes close to you and grabs onto you, the camera zooms in even more, and it's extremely intense.
Stephen James Oslin wrote in to kindoffunny.com, or nope, damn it, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. It says, I typically avoid the horror genre because I'm a scaredy cat.
See, that's me.
The scariest game I've made it through is probably Until Dawn, and I loved it. But this year I want to expand my comfort zone. Is RE2 the game for me, or should I stick with a classic like Dead Space? Dead Space is a great game. RE2 is survival horror through and through in a way I haven't seen in years. In terms of, there's zombies in here. I'm going to try to run past them. I'm not going to shoot them. I'm not going to waste my ammo. I don't engage a zombie unless it's coming down the hall and I'm stuck. If I'm dead-ended at the end. And even then, it's like, fuck, I hope I get it. Some of the
So you can
zombies
just sneak
later
by
on.
him a lot of the time?
A lot of the time, yeah.
Well,
that's
that's
what
how
they
you
want.
can, but it's hard. And it's stressful every single
100%,
time. You
yeah.
can't just run past them like it's an action game, because it's not. Because the camera's so close to you and it's third person, you're never fully in control of the character. It's way better than tank controls, but it's not like it's
So
an
it's not
action-
tank controls?
Oh, no.
No. It's third person, like Gears of War style game, but it's not action based, so it's not fast paced. It's very slow and it's methodical as hell, and I can't believe how good it is.
Yeah,
all right.
I think it's terrifying. It's beautiful. It's so graphically good. I don't consider I like horror games. I don't consider myself prone to jump scares all that much. And there was even last night,
it has a bunch of jump
so
scares.
many hours into this thing. It's not even jump scares as much as it's what Tim's talking about of like, I don't know, and I need to talk to you about it. I talked to Britt a bit about it. Like, I went through Leon's story first, and I was like, man, this is a really great balanced experience. I feel like I'm challenged, but I'm not over my head. And then I started second run Claire, and I'm like, I am fucked the entire. I am running. Everything's hard. It feels like it's harder. It feels like there's more things, like a tyrant chasing me all the time.
Interesting. I played Claire first, and afterwards Leon did feel like a breeze.
Yeah. I think Claire's tougher, just
Maybe.
because of the way they're setting up.
That's weird.
But it's cool because it's what we're talking about. Like I'm outsider to this franchise, this game, really, right? And I always assumed, as somebody who started started as Leon on PS1, dropped out of it just because I didn't feel the game right. I always assumed when you started Claire's story, it was literally the story all from her perspective in terms of like, she didn't get to the police station. She did other stuff, blah, blah. I didn't understand, like, when I started it last night as Claire and jumped in on the second run, that no, you're playing the same stuff Leon did, but in a different way. Things are different, but you're still inside the same environments and all that
Which
shit.
is why I wouldn't give this game a 10.
Yeah.
I definitely feel they did a much better job than the original game did in terms of how much overlap there is.
Yeah.
There is still an upsetting amount of overlap. They do change up the puzzles. So it's like you have to get the crest. It's always a different combination. You can't just remember the thing to get through it.
I tried to I loaded Leon's save last night, took screen grabs, went back to Claire's and tried to use it.
It's not going to work, which is really cool. But the problem is it still doesn't solve the issue that the original games had, that there isn't a true canon storyline of, you do Claire first, then Leon or whatever, because it's really kind of just elements of both stories together. It's like, well, all these things happened. Who did them?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. And I feel like they were so close to just having a perfect story, but I don't know. That is a minor complaint for something.
Totally, and that was my thing. So when I started the second run as her and started doing the same stuff again, I was like, oh, this is kind of weak. But then I was getting stuff out of the original order. I felt like I was moving quicker through the areas in terms of where to go, probably because I just understand where, okay, I have this thing, I know how that is, blah, blah. But then it was also just the fact that I felt way underpowered, and which makes sense as, Leon's a cop or whatever, and he's had at least some police training versus Claire, who I don't think she has, my knowledge of Claire. But yeah, it was like, okay, this is a different experience. I do feel like I have to be way more nimble and I have to move more. And it's even the same of like, as you said, even at the end of the game, one zombie's still a threat.
Yep.
Like, you can't just blow it off. You have to have a plan for it.
I want to get off now because I want to save more of my thoughts for Gamescast. But the last thing I want to say is the biggest compliment I have for this game is it takes the zombie story of Resident Evil and it really kind of goes back to what it was in the 90s, throws that all away, and is like, okay, how can we make the core of that story an actual quote unquote realistic story that makes sense. And I said it in my tweet earlier. It reminds me of like Christopher Nolan's take on Resident Evil, where it's not that this stuff would happen, but stuff in Batman Begins wouldn't happen either. But it's like, what if we took the Resident Evil story and characters and enemies and everything, and we're like, what if this was a bit more grounded and this actually could happen?
You and I talked about it on Gamescast, right? Where I think one of my problems with Resident Evil is it never just stayed zombies enough, and then because it gets crazy. And like we talked about, this is way more grounded than that.
Way more grounded. After I talked to you, there was a couple things I ran into.
Obviously,
that I was like, all right, but they're so few and far between, and I feel like even then, there's explanation that I'm like, I buy it. I'll give it to you.
And none of them, I felt like the boss encounters or anything like that were like so. Mash my teeth. I'm so angry. I can't. How the fuck do I do this kind of thing? I was like, oh, okay. Maybe it took me 2 tries or 3 tries.
Final boss fights, epic as hell.
Yeah,
love them.
Yeah,
music, everything about it. Oh,
before you leave, I have one question that I don't have the answers for since I'm a noob. Sean Del Christopher wrote in to Kind of Funny. No, damn it. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. And so I was reading the IGN review for Resident Evil 2, and I'm still a little confused about replaying the campaign. Does the zapping system, where they mix up things, return from the original? The review made it sound like you have to play through the game at least twice to even unlock something like that, and the wording got me a little confused. Why not, after beating Leon's campaign, just choose Leon again and play through a remix version of his campaign again? Thanks for reading my question. All of you guys do.
So it's not quite the same as it used to be. You can't just do Leon again. It's you do Leon and then you do Claire, or you do Claire,
or vice versa.
Leon, yeah. It's scenario
for the second run thing.
So, yeah, it's called second run in this one. So it's like it's a bunch of garbled bullshit with the zapping thing, where it's just like it is there. It's just slightly different how it works, but really it's how any normal person would actually play the game. So it doesn't get in the way of your enjoyment.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And then Shondell also said, I signed up for the Platinum tier around the middle of the month, and I'm wondering where I can look to confirm where I can send my physical item. He's talking about patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Thank you for your support through the month of January, our fundraising thing. Joey will hit you up for that. Don't worry, Shondell. You will not be lost. Gary. I'm going to look here. Just to see.
I'm really on the fence about whether or not I want to get Resident
Why are you
Evil
on the fence?
Because scary games scare me.
Too spoopy.
Too spoopy.
Yeah.
I'm not a kleppic.
Just where he just feeds off of it.
Lives
he
and
feeds
breathes
off being
this
scared.
stuff. Like, scare me as much as you possibly can. I'm the anti-kleppic.
Jake wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. It says, hello, KFGD crew. I have a question about Resident Evil 2. I've somehow never played an RE game before. I've always meant to, but just never got around to it. With all the positive buzz around RE2, I'm considering picking it up. Do you think it's a good place to start? Will the story confuse me without playing the first game? Just hoping for some of your insight. Thanks, Jake. Jake, I've played the original Resident Evil on GameCube back in the day, and I played PS1, but it was the same problem. You'll be fine. Just jump into RE2. They're zombies. What the hell's going on? You have 2 protagonists who are asking the same question and get answers as they go. There will definitely be references and nods to the first game you won't understand, but you don't need them. You'll be fine. Jump in there. And Gary, you jump in there too.
I'm gonna maybe if I can get. I don't know. We'll see.
Too spoopy.
What about Leah? She'll play. She plays everything.
It's probably more up her street. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say. We gotta just start. We gotta figure it out. You gotta just not come in anymore. We send her in.
Just bring
when you can't do it, we need to send her in.
It would still be Widow Wednesday.
Exactly. It would work out perfectly. What we need to do is have her come in and host with you. And then there you go. Then I'm sure Super Widow Wednesday.
I suspect she would be up for it.
All right, well, put that on the books. Okay. Barrett, start thinking about it.
All right, I will.
Thank you, buddy. And then one final one about Resident Evil. Ku Cho Ku says, how satisfying is it to run away from zombies in RE2 Remake? I enjoy living out my real life fear of things by simply running away, screaming, and I'm curious how realistic it is in this zombie game. It's totally a viable option. I do it quite often in the game where I run into a room. I know that there's a zombie on that side of the desk, so I go this way. I do a lot of baiting where you can't use your bullets. It's survival horror, right? So I'll get close to them, have them start following me, have one of the other rooms start following me, and then take that third path out of the room to get to it. You try the zigzags, you get caught sometimes. They have that dynamic zombie AI, I guess, where if one's attacking you and then another one does get you, then they take you both down and you have like 2 on top of you fighting off and doing damage. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Great game.
Remember when they announced this like randomly like 5 years ago? They're like, hey,
we're doing that. And everybody's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
See if that ever happens.
It's cool that it's finally here.
Agreed. Number 2, Square Enix has copyrighted HD 2D. You might remember that from Octopath Traveler's promotional materials. Matthew Handrahan over at GamesIndustry.biz writes, Square Enix has trademarked 2 terms associated with the visual style of its hit role-playing game, Octopath Traveler. According to filings made this week with the World Intellectual Property Organization, Square Enix has trademarked the terms HD 2D and HD-2D in Europe. Square Enix used these terms when promoting Octopath Traveler, which launched in July 2018. Their critically acclaimed RPG had a unique art style that blended 2D sprites with polygonal environments and various modern visual elements. An exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, Octopath was an immediate hit, selling 1 million units in 3 weeks. Speculation that these trademarks point to a sequel has already started, but Square Enix has not confirmed any such plans. It should be noted that the trademarks apply to the terms rather than the art style itself, suggesting that the Japanese publisher expects to use them in product marketing in the future. Hooray.
Okay.
Did you ever play Octopath?
No.
You missed out.
You think so?
Octopath's such a good game.
I do like a good JRPG. Would I have enjoyed this one?
It's not too late. You can
Okay.
still enjoy it, Gary. You know what I mean? There's no expiration
There's only
date.
so many hours in the day, though, Greg.
I know, and
And I was just looking at Resident Evil 2 now. This has popped back up again. What
Well,
to
Resident Evil
do?
2 is fast. Resident Evil 2 is fast. You're gonna be
Oh,
able to,
really? You haven't played through that quickly?
I mean, my campaign with Leon was like 6.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
And then you go do Claire's and
So you can
stuff.
play through that in a couple of nights.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right.
Yeah, and then there's other ones. There's reasons to come back, obviously.
Yeah.
But you could get out there and have your fun and be fine with it.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
how much do you write every day? Like,
I mean, it really depends on the day.
do you don't have like from 3 to 5? I'm in the office.
In theory,
Yeah.
yes.
This is the problem with working from home.
In reality, yeah. I mean, it really depends. You know, you try to. There are days when you sit down and you're like, right, today, like right now I'm on it. Right now I'm on a thing. I tell myself I'm trying to finish a novel, and I tell myself I owe myself 1,000 words a day.
Okay.
And if I write that 1,000 words in an hour, the rest of the day is my own to work on other things or do other stuff. If it takes me all day, it takes me all day. But for me, the metric is not how long did I spend writing, but how much did I get done.
Gotcha.
In however much time. That's how you do it.
Okay. Fascinating.
JRPG question for you guys.
Okay.
Have either of you beat Persona 5 yet?
I'm pretty close.
Number 3. The military charity Stack Up has got a grant from the CDC. This is Rebecca Valentine over at GamesIndustry.biz. Military gaming charity Stack Up has announced today that it has received a U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention Programs evaluation grant to help it evaluate and improve its mental health outreach program for veterans. Stack Up is a charity that uses gaming to find ways to support U.S. veterans and current service members through a variety of programs, including sending gaming-focused care packages to deployed service members and helping build gaming PCs for veterans so they can connect with friends more easily. One of their programs, the Stack Up Overwatch program, offers 24-hour support and crisis management volunteers to veterans suffering from PTSD, depression, and other emotional struggles. A second program, Air Assault, sends veterans to gaming events around the country. The CDC program evaluation grant will be used to evaluate the effectiveness of both programs and offer professional training and certifications to those working in the program. Quote, I'm excited to see the continued development in the merging of the gaming community with mental health, said Stack Up program manager Matt Bergendahl, thank you so much. We feel our programs are doing tremendous good for our veteran community, and this generous grant from the CDC will allow us to put solid data against our feelings. It will reinforce the confidence our supporters and donors continue to show us. End quote.
That's a good story.
I figure that's why I put it on there. First off, obviously everybody knows we love Stack Up. We post photos with them all the time. We try to meet up at events. Obviously David has been on here before hosting the show with us on Kind of Funny Games Daily. Big fans. And so yeah, that's cool. But then also the fact that we do a lot of bad news, just like any kind of news show. It's always here's this crazy thing that's happening.
This
Here's
has been canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Customers are unhappy about this or that. Nice to have a feel-good story.
Exactly.
And finally, on the lighter side of the news.
And now here's Kevin with the sports.
I love the fact that these things like Stack Up and Take This, we need that. And I'm glad that those organizations are out there doing that work.
Me too. Gary, I'm excited to see what the CDC finds when it looks into this, but their results are still so far away. If I wanted more imminent information, like say what came to the mom and grop shops, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show hosts each and every weekday. And let me say, I got to come in on Tuesday more often.
Yeah,
sorry, I blew your jingle.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Yeah.
Look at all these games.
I know. It's like
when I come in on a Wednesday, it's a dead zone. You
I
come in
know.
on Tuesday, which is when games actually get released. And there's a big long list. I love it.
It's one of the reasons why it works so well with you on a Wednesday. Because even if nothing's happening that day, I know Gary Wood can fill the time.
I'll find a way
Exactly.
to
Hey,
fill it
let's
with
talk
my
about
own
Space Rocks
bullshit.
2.0. Out today at sundown, Shots in the Dark is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac. You might remember At Sundown, of course, from Kind of Funny Party Mode. We did a great party mode with them. You should check it out. Future Grind is on PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Senran Kagura Burst R Renewal is on PlayStation 4 and PC. The Hong Kong Massacre is on PlayStation 4 and PC. Demon's Tilt is on PC and Mac. The Raven Remastered is on Switch. The Walking Vegetables Radical Edition is on Xbox One. I need to see a trailer for the Walking Vegetables Radical Edition, thank you. Heroes Trials is on PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita. It lives. Xbox One. Realm Royale is in beta on PlayStation 4. It's open and free. Sonar Beat. Sonar Beat is now on PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. And then the new 6x6 Venkendi map for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG, is on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One alongside Survivor Pass, Venkendi, which rewards players for completing diverse missions. Both the map and the Survivor Pass will be available for all PUBG players as a free downloadable update to the title. For exclusive missions, faster leveling, and additional rewards, players can purchase the premium Survivor Pass for $9.99. You were big on PUBG. Whatever happened? You ever go back?
No, I still play. I just don't play as much as I used to because I'm not. It took me a long time to realize that I'm never going to be good enough to really enjoy playing it.
Sure.
You need to reach a certain level of skill to pass the point where you just feel frustrated getting killed all the time.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm too old. I'm too slow.
Yeah,
it's a young man's game.
Okay.
I still enjoy playing it, but just not enough to play all the time the way I did.
I'm telling you
That's my answer.
Then just Ding Dong XL the rest of your life, all right?
Ding Dong XL might be the solution for me.
All right, here we go. We got the walking vegetables
right here.
Can we go Pip for the people who are watching the video can see some of this?
Yeah, I got it.
It's got an 80s vibe to it.
With that old 80s thing.
Okay, so we're just running around killing veggies. Reminds me a lot of Age of Zombies. Remember that game? PlayStation, PSP Mini. Remember it was from people called Half Brick, who didn't look like they were going to make money ever, and then they were like, you know what? Here's a game called Fruit Ninja, and they made a lot of money.
All right, so 8-way shooter with a very 80s retro
seems like
vibe.
a Devolver Digital type of game, you know?
No, too on the nose for Devolver. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
There's not enough attitude.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you know this. Devolver Digital's extreme. Like, hey, we're
seems
extreme.
pretty extreme,
We'll fucking
guys.
make
What
you
is
wait
the-
forever for Ape Out. Extreme. I'm watching
What is
you,
the
Nigel.
Hong Kong Massacre? That sounds pretty grim.
The Hong Kong Massacre on PlayStation 4 and PC.
And
Let's
PC.
find out. Can we get a
Should
Hong
we
Kong
take a quick
Massacre?
look at that?
While you do that, I'm going to run you, through new dates. Stellaris is coming to consoles February 26th. Count Dooku will make his debut in Star Wars Battlefront 2 tomorrow, January 23rd, in the Darth Tyrannus update. Bombfest is coming to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, January 31st. Yakuza Kiwami is launching digitally on PC via Steam on February 19th. And then Reverie, Sweet As Edition, releases on the Switch on February 7th, 2019.
Now we're going to take a
Here's
quick
the
look
Hong
at
Kong Massacre.
Here we go. What are we expecting?
It's an official PlayStation.
Is this going to be something horrible?
Yeah, I mean, I expect it's going to be brutal,
Okay,
yeah?
good graphics.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got like a Yakuza style.
Remember?
Look at this.
Oh. So now this, you want to talk about?
So this is
Devolver
Hotline
Devolver Digital. It's
So this-
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami with like Resident Evil graphics.
But also, it's like the slowdown. What's the game with the slowdown?
Max Payne.
No, it was
I mean,
another.
Max Payne is the one who like don't Dead
there's-
to Rights.
There was another top-down game recently in the last year or two.
Mr. Shifty.
I'm
Yeah,
glad we pulled this trailer up because this looks interesting.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
This looks like fun. 2D Max Payne.
PlayStation 4 and
PC.
PC. Yeah, I'll download this.
I'll take a look at this. Look at
I
this.
can tell you
This
right
looks
now
like
by
a lot of
watching it
fun.
though, I know this is gonna hurt Gary. This is gonna be a bitch of a platinum. Don't expect to get the platinum in this. This is definitely.
Do you want me to look it up?
Not for here, but for my own edification. If you could put that in my study, that'd be great.
I will.
This
Thank
could
you,
be
Ward.
this could be a little hidden gem here. Who knows?
Cool.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
All right. Let's look into it, everybody. Hong
right,
Kong Massacre.
okay.
We'll come back with
Hong Kong
impressions.
Massacre. Who knew?
Let's talk about reader mail, but first I'll tell you about our sponsors. First, it's Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. This is a non-intimidating way for stock market newcomers to invest for the first time with true confidence. It's simple and intuitive, clear design with data presented in easy-to-digest ways. Kevin Coelho from kindoffunny.com uses Robinhood, and he loves it because of the clean app, and there are no commission fees. Other brokerages charge you up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission. Be like Kevin! Learn how to invest as you build a portfolio. Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. Sign up at games.robinhood.com. That's games.robinhood.com. Our next sponsor is Thirdlove. Let's talk about bras. Using millions of real women's measurements, Thirdlove designs its bras with breast shape and size in mind for an impeccable fit and an incredible feel. Thirdlove is the industry leader with 70 sizes, including its signature half-cup sizes. Skip the trip. Find your perfect fit in 60 seconds with Thirdlove's online fit finder. Order and try on at home. No more awkward fitting room experiences. But don't take my word for it. Take my wife's. She ordered from Thirdlove and the size wasn't quite right. Of course, returning the bra was free, and a fit stylist helped Jen find a bra even better as a replacement. Does Jen like her new bra? You betcha. She told me, quote, "It doesn't feel cheap like most bras. It's mostly meant to be worn strapless, but it still came with 2 sets of straps." 2 sets of straps, people! Whoa! Be like Jen! Thirdlove knows a perfect bra is out there for everyone, so right now they're offering my listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/games now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/games for 15% off today.
Bras and stocks.
It's we're a one-stop shop. Yeah, you need them both, right? Yeah. Well, you play the market there, Gary? Huh? You got some? You out there watching your stocks?
I've got some money in the market for my retirement.
401k.
But I'm not like buy sell. I'm not that kind
Kevin's
of guy.
like that. It's crazy.
I've got like an IRA kind of thing.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah,
no big deal. I'm sure yours is doing better than mine. But here we did this one, so I'm gonna put that through that so I don't forget. We'll start with this. Shanesedy wrote in to patreon.com/kindafunnygames and says, "Hey guys, I'm currently in hype mode for Kingdom Hearts 3. Over the weekend, I found myself just wanting to do things that were related to the series. I played Emoji Blitz, which had a Kingdom Hearts event. I watched the Disney movies that will be featured in the game, and I watched all of the cutscene compilations for all 4 games."
No, this guy's getting invested.
I know.
Nice.
Do you guys ever find yourself so hyped for a game or something else that you just want to do things related to it? Do you find yourselves brought back to games for promotional events? Lastly, do you ever watch cutscene and gameplay compilations to experience a favorite game again rather than playing it? Thanks for being awesome, as always. Shanesedy.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah? Which part?
Well, there have been times when I have missed playing the Mass Effect games so much that I went back and just like watched cinematics.
Sure.
Just kind of get that contact high.
Sure.
Get that feeling of being back
I've
in
had
the
that
world.
moment before where you're craving a game and you want to do that.
Yeah.
For me, it's why I love IGN. I think I was working there when they started it, so I feel like they did, but I'm sure other people were. But I love the blank game in 5 minutes, where they go through and tell you the whole game story again and go through all that stuff.
Oh,
they
cool.
do those recaps a lot. I like that kind of stuff when I'm getting ready. I've been known to do that. But yeah, for like when we were gearing up for Spider-Man, I think that was the most recent one where it was like, I'm so fucking ready for Spider-Man. And we were doing Spider-Man in review.
You were excited about Spider-Man?
I hit it really well.
Who knew?
I hit it really well. And I was reading Spider-Man comics and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Getting super stoked for it.
Yeah.
But for games, usually, it's interesting that he's going in and wanting to watch the movies again and get that kind of feel for it. That'd be the kind of stuff I'd want to avoid. It's like yesterday we talked a little bit about Days Gone, where it's like, I'm on blackout for that game. I've played enough to know I want to play it. Great, I'm in. Even The Division to an extent, right? Where I'm like, they keep dropping trailers and information. I'm like, don't need to see it. Just want to get out there and experience it myself. Like, I like to go cold when we get close to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do find those videos useful sometimes. Like when Red Dead came out, there were a bunch of videos going around like, here's a recap of like what happened in the first Red Dead Redemption.
Sure, that's
and
super
like the story
helpful, right?
so far.
Yeah.
And that can be helpful.
See, that's a great example too, because when we were approaching Red Dead, and I was super excited. I did stuff like that, but I've always found it fascinating that people who go and replay the game right before the sequel.
Right.
Because for me, it's like part of why I'm excited for the new game is to get back into that kind of that gameplay loop. And I feel like if I did it before right away, I'd be afraid that, oh man, I'm going to get there and then be burnt out in 10 hours because I just played 30 hours of this other thing.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts in particular,
sure,
there was a piece just like this. I can't remember what website it was on, but there was a piece just the other day. Somebody linked it on my Twitter feed, and I clicked on the link and looked at it because I was curious. And it was exactly what it wasn't a video. It was a written article. It was, here's a guide, a kind of a dummy's guide, a condensed guide to all of the Kingdom Hearts lore and timeline and chronology as expressed through the previous games.
God help you.
And I could barely scratch the surface. I had no idea. I see Goofy and Donald Duck, and I think, well, this has got to be a fairly rudimentary game for kids.
Oh, no.
What? Kingdom Hearts. I didn't read the whole thing because it was immensely long.
Well, it's also gibberish at a point.
But I mean, I couldn't possibly. It's not just me. Like, Kingdom Hearts mythology and lore is like crazy dense.
100%.
So, and how do the Disney characters figure into it?
Do
they explain that, or are they
I'm
just
sure
there?
somehow they have. Bear, are you a Kingdom Hearts dork? I can't remember.
No, I'm not. I had to play Kingdom Hearts 2 for work. Kingdom Hearts in 5 minutes just came out.
Oh, okay.
For IGN, and that request to make that video went up like 2.5 years ago.
Nice.
And we finally made it.
Nice.
And so I had to play Kingdom Hearts 2 to capture all of that footage, and I really did not like it. But I'm excited for 3 just because like Toy Story.
That doesn't sound like a real excitement.
I'm interested to see like Toy Story shit, but I don't remember them ever explaining like how all of these worlds. Like,
Tim's a huge fan, and then he did that Kingdom Hearts podcast with Alexa and Jonathan Dornbush, and even Tim was like, I don't understand what the fuck's happening in the story anymore. And then Alexa talked for like 45 minutes trying to explain it all, but nobody knows.
It's one of those,
it's
one of those Japanese RPG things where the story is just gloriously impenetrable,
exactly,
right? Like
yeah.
it's almost a deliberate thing where they've made it as complex and convoluted as it is, but also goofy.
Goofy's there too, yeah.
Goofy's there.
Exactly. Told you, motherfuckers. Jacky B writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, with episode 2 of Life is Strange 2 approaching, I want to know your thoughts on the new characters and setting. I really enjoyed episode 1 by the end, but it did take me some time to warm up to the new characters. I don't think I will ever love them as much as I loved Max and Chloe, though. Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm left an emotional mark on me like few games have been able to. I am, however, willing to be proven wrong. Are you a Life is Strange person, Gary?
Leah is. I did the thing where I kind of sat and passively watched and occasionally chipped in on
a decision
helping with the decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played all of Life is Strange 1, and I think we got a little bit into Before the Storm and then like Spider-Man came out and derailed everything. But we played a bunch of it, yeah. And I know that I do remember looking into Life is Strange 2 and going, oh, it's like a guy and his son, right? It's two totally different characters.
It's two brothers.
Oh, two brothers.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it caught me off guard how good it was, because I'm very much of the camp of Jacky, where I think even Before the Storm more really gave me an appreciation for Chloe, Rachel, Amber, the world they had, and starting this one and meeting new people, like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna love them the way I loved these other characters, but I did enjoy the run. I am excited. I'm gonna go home tonight and play episode 2. I have a review code I just haven't had the chance to get into. I'm excited for the story. I thought episode 1 was really cool. I thought it was different. I thought it was really interesting to see them wrestle with topical issues now of racism and, having to deal with this, being an outsider in your own country, right? Being an outsider in your own community and what that looks like now. And so they're a very interesting journey that I feel has gotten so far removed from what Life is Strange 1 was in terms of rewinding time, where that's not really the mechanic you're doing. You're running around and doing this stuff now.
Is there like a new?
There's a superpower.
Gimmick?
I don't want to get into it or whatever. There's superpowers involved, but it's different than what it was before. But it's also it's really beautiful. The soundtrack's still really great. I was really into it, so I'm excited to play more of it tonight. But yeah, I still obviously Life is Strange 1.
Yeah, I like those games.
And I'm gonna put this out there. Only 2 issues are out now. They're not amazing, but the Life is Strange comic book they're doing right now.
Oh, there's a comic as well?
Yeah, they're doing a 4-part comic book that is the epilogue and this is a spoiler for the end of Life is Strange 1. A 4-issue comic book, this is your chance to get out. That is the choice that if you chose to save Chloe rather than Arcadia Bay.
That's the one I think it's the one that we made.
That's what I made too, right there. Right, you know what I mean? Come on now.
And Arcadia Bay
sucks.
Was
what do I care about
by the tornado.
Yeah, so like the comic book, it's so far, it's really engaging. They write it like as I'm reading the word bubbles, I'm hearing Chloe and Max's voice actors and stuff.
Right.
I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to see how that goes as well. Especially because that was my ending, and that's the true ending. And if it's not your ending, you're a monster, and I don't want to talk to you. AJ from Seattle writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, hey there, KFGD crew. I have a question about the potential legal trouble Dreams on PlayStation 4 may be walking into. Recently, some videos surfaced from the Dreams beta of creators remaking Mario, Dead Space, PT, Sonic, and more. While these videos break the NDA signed to participate in the beta, my concern is for what would happen when the game eventually releases. Could Sony and Media Molecule be setting themselves up to face legal action by having users create blatant ripoffs of other companies' IPs? We've seen that Nintendo isn't shy about stopping user-created games using their IP, but what happens when they send Sony a cease and desist? Thanks for your time, AJ.
So I wasn't too sure about what. I'm still not 100% sure what exactly Dreams is, but I did see this video where it looked to me like it just looked like PT,
dude.
But it was PT created in this other game.
If you don't know what we're talking about and you haven't seen it, I urge you, just to Google around and find it.
It's like the same thing.
It is. They remade PC and they took because of course Dreams you can upload direct MP3 WAV files or whatever it is, sound files. So they have the radio announcer, they have you walking through. The picture frames got tape on the back.
I would have thought if you didn't tell me any different, I would say that that's just PT running.
Right, and that's the tip of the iceberg during this creators beta. I think really showing the power of it. What it means. AJ, I think remains to be seen. Like Little Big Planet did the exact same thing. You could create stuff. People created things, especially as you got into Little Big Planet 2 and 3, where it was more about creating games. People were, putting in Mario and then animating and doing all these different things. It just hadn't taken off. And I don't know what you get into in terms of, okay, well, you're not paying for the levels inside of the game. So is it copyright infringement? Is it this? Is it that? Blah, blah, blah. I assume Dreams would have to get incredibly successful, and then I think it'd be on people's radars as this was a huge problem.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a big game, isn't it? It's Media Molecule, PS4, Sony.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a big game. I think with and this isn't an offensive thing because I think I'm in the community. The artsy fartsy PlayStation people,
right.
Like I think like people like me that like I used to do the IGN article, right? Of like here's the best Little Big Planet levels this week, and I would do it every week.
Right.
Like that kind of community, that kind of thing is going to be big, but sales wise, I do not think it's going to be a big game.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a game that has a whole bunch of cool shit. I think it's going to be a thing that really brings out it's going to build an amazing community. And I'm still so fascinated and excited for when it drops and there's a group of best friends who want to play with it and are on the Facebook and on the subreddit and on the Twitter and like we're building our own game and I want you to do the music and I want you to do this and I'm doing this and like they all get together and they all just contribute their stuff and put it together that way.
I mean, I do think it has the potential to be something like, not necessarily in terms of sales success, but in terms of virality, like another Minecraft, where like every week there's a new story about look what someone's made with it now.
Yeah, that's possible. But again, but here's what I think is going to happen. Right, I don't think it's going to sell enough units that mainstream cares about it. I think those articles are going to start, and then as somebody who did the Little Big Planet articles, I think you'll see that there's just not enough people clicking on them, so they'll go away.
Right.
And I think it'll still, like right now, if you turned on Little Big Planet 3, right, and went in there, people are still creating awesome shit and putting it up. Like there's still a world there of creators that are part of it. And I think that's definitely going to be here. But
people are still playing Little Big Planet?
Of course they are.
Hell yeah.
How you show this game in a commercial that gets it to break outside of the core PlayStation group? Like, cause like this is a game that is going to do so well with the Podcast Beyond audience. And I'm talking like when we were doing Podcast Beyond and it was PlayStation 3 and it was me, Dunham, and Roper and nobody cared about PlayStation. It's going to do well with that core PlayStation. But that core of PlayStation is now surrounded by so many millions of people who are there, no offense to them, just to play a game here or there and are never going to know what Dreams is. And then even when they see a trailer for it, be like, well, I don't want to create anything. Not understanding that they could buy this and have unlimited games and levels from people.
Right.
And that's the other thing is like when we get in there, how is content creation going to work? I know there's a whole bunch of things, and this is why, again, I'm so stoked about it. When I left that E3 demo, they really dug down into it and showed like, oh no, like you, Gary, could just make bushes, and you could upload your bushes, and then Barrett's making levels, and he could take your bushes and put them into his level, and then as his level got played and got experience for Barrett as a creator, you would get experience for your bushes being used, which is where, and I can be a curator where I can go in there and be like, I don't need IGN, right? I can play Dreams every night and be like, hey, every Wednesday I update my list. Go follow me, go do it. But what is the return on people going through and doing all these little things?
One might argue the internet already has enough people uploading their bushes and we don't need any more.
I was waiting for it. When I see Gary leaning back and smiling like he's got something, I teed him up.
I always play to the cheap seats. If I can make Barrett or Kevin laugh, it's all worth it.
That was good.
Anybody can get Kevin to laugh.
It's true.
You just got Barrett's name totally right that first try, huh?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
What?
I don't know.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen.
I've upset Kevin now.
I'm not sure who he's upset at.
I'm never gonna live that down.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, we squad up each and every day. This is where one of you writes in the God damn it, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Barrett, go to Amazon after the show and look for a human-sized shock collar. And you put it on me, and anytime I start going in with the old kindoffunny.com, you shock me. We squad up. This is where one of you writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and you all play games together.
Shock collar for big dogs. That could work for you right there.
I am a big dog.
$46.
Cheap.
Let's not do that.
Today, Adam Neely needs help on PC. That's right, EA's Origin. You can hit him up at atomneely. That's ATOMNEELY. Why does he need help? Just signed up for Origin Premiere for Anthem, and my friends list is sparse. Would love to have some kind of funny best friends to play Anthem with when it comes out. I'm also on Discord at atomneely, #1282. If you want to play Anthem during this beta with Adam Neely, hit him up. Names are in the YouTube description.
What does your gut tell you about Anthem?
Interesting question, Gary Whitta. I think it's going to do really well. I mean, unless it comes out and it's totally sparse and doesn't work, it's going to be fine, I think. Everybody who plays that game is like, this game is awesome. I have not picked up the controller yet, so from an outsider looking in, I'm always like, I don't know if it's a world I want to spend a lot of hours in. It looks kind of like this, that. But everybody who's played it is like, dude, you get to be Iron Man. It feels like you're Iron Man. And I'm like, all right, yeah. Running around being Iron Man with Fran and everybody else, yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, sure. That does sound
right.
good.
But my problem is Division on the horizon. Do I have time to get invested in another world?
Are they both coming out like in the same?
Oh no. Well, what? It's February 22nd for Anthem, right?
I think so.
Give me a check on that,
Yeah.
and then Division's March that first week or whatever.
I mean, that's not much of an overlap.
No.
I mean,
Isn't it? Yeah, am I wrong?
Anthem.
This is the Anthem. Give me Anthem release date. Anthem release date February 22nd. Nailed it. And then Division 2 release date.
Division 2 release date is
March 15th.
So
You
you
got
got
a
3
couple
weeks to
weeks.
play Anthem before the Division 2 drops.
I'll do it. I'll jump in and see
And
it.
then,
I'll see
do you feel like you're going to have to make a choice, or would you be able to find? Let's say you loved them both. Would you find time for both, or would you have to make a choice?
I don't
No,
think I
it'd
can
be
find
Division.
time for that. I can't find time for that.
It would be Division for you. I know.
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah.
And so you if you had to make a
I mean,
prediction,
this is based on just glances and like the little bit I've played of Division 2 and my
Yeah.
love of Division 1.
but you think you're more likely to wind up with Division 2?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I
But we'll
think
see.
because I
We'll
love
see.
the first Division.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm so
Play it
glad
on
they're making the
PlayStation.
second one.
Play it on
Play it on
PlayStation, Gary.
Don't make me come over there and beat it. Don't.
But the Xbox version will be better.
Will it? Who'll know?
But you'll have
If
more
it-
friends to play with.
If an
You know-
exclusive falls in the woods on with 4K graphics, but nobody's around to play it, does it matter?
You know who knows? The good people at Digital Foundry who will definitively tell you.
Ooh, the graphics are
It's
so much
got
better.
more pixels.
My teraflops are better over
It's
here.
got trilinear flip-flopping.
Let's check in with You're Wrong. This is where the people watching live go to kindoffunny.com/You're Wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up. The nanobiologist says tofu mode was a parody mode in the original Resident Evil 2 for the based on the original character for hit detection. It changes color when it hit and curses. That's the broken English stuff, but okay, cool. Nanobiologist says, as for the canonical story on Resident Evil 2, the fan base agrees that it's Claire A, then Leon B, based on the Resident Evil 6 campaign events. However, there is no official Capcom statement on this. You got it. Nanobiologist again, to the guy asking about platinum rewards. Joey posted a Google Doc for physical t-shirt sizes today. I was behind on that. Now everybody knows that. And I'm looking through. We got a bunch of stuff. A nanobiologist again says a missed day today. The Argus, the Cyclops, is now available as an optional boss in the Angry Cauldron of Argus. This is in Assassin's Creed, obviously. A lot of people trying to tell us how to enjoy Kingdom Hearts 3 story. We're not. That's not a you're wrong, and
It's impossible.
I refuse.
What, like, seriously, what is somebody saying about how to enjoy the Kingdom Hearts 3 story?
I mean,
Because it doesn't seem like that's an easy task.
I mean, this is arguing about how to get between worlds now. Not even arguing. There's a lot of wordy descriptions here.
Okay.
So you can go look at that up. There's there's all sorts.
I'm
of
telling you, Kingdom Hearts, this is what I learned. Kingdom Hearts fans, those are some serious fans.
Oh yeah. Don't fuck with
yeah.
them, especially on an Amazon stream. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. A bronze subscription gets you on the show. A silver subscription gets you the show ad-free on MP3, on video. It's good times. And it gets everything else, every other show that way too. Same thing with the bronze tier. Every questions on every show. I guess I should say that. Because you understand, it's everything. You know, you go there, it'll make sense to you. You can watch the show live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. You can watch the show later, youtube.com/kindafunnygames. You can listen to it whenever you want to on podcast services around the globe. Hosting for you tomorrow, Andrea Renee will really be here, probably. Then Thursday, it's me, Andy McNamara from Game Informer. Then Friday, it's me and Joseph Noop. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.